It's on the list.
Oh,
It's on
this
the
is gonna
list.
wreck me. Oh, it's gonna wreck me. Okay, out of all the movies that
It's
we have
great,
listed,
right?
I need you to go watch it like after we are done.
Okay,
Or
okay.
just like keep me on and we'll watch it together.
Hello, Cozy Detectives, and welcome to the Blanket Fort Files. I'm Joy,
And I'm Larissa.
and we're here to report on all things comfy and cozy.
With a special guest. I know we are so excited. Just as a little teaser before we introduce our fabulous guest, when Joy and I talked a little bit at our 1 year of when we were coming up with the idea, the vibes of the podcast, and we both really wanted to emulate coziness, warmth, comfort. And at the top of our inspiration list was the person that's on here today. So I'm like tear up just like thinking about it that she's here with us in the Blanket Fort. But we have Meg from Meg's Tea Room. So welcome, Meg.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm gonna cry. Y'all are gonna make me cry.
We have cried on the podcast before already. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. We're safe space.
Yeah, super safe, super
I
safe.
love it.
Oh, well, we're happy to have you here. We're going to talk about some things. So, for the Cozy Detectives, we have some questions for Meg. Meg is amazing and came up with like the theme of today too. So, just a jack of all trades. We love it. And I'm actually really excited to get into our theme once we get there because I feel like it's such a fun way to get to know somebody.
Yeah.
And I'm just stoked. But to get us started, kind of overall, talk to us a little bit about like what does cozy mean to you and like what brought you into cozy?
Oh man, I feel like what does cozy mean to me? It's so layered. It's so layered. But I'm gonna try to simplify it. If I could simplify it, it just means feeling safe. Cozy is comfort. It is where it's whatever state you can reach for it wherever you are in whatever situation you're in. But it's reaching for that comfort and reaching for that safety and finding a soft place to land, no matter what you're going through. That to me is what cozy represents. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's kind of what we try to emulate with our blanket fort. We call our metaphorical blanket fort because we're not setting up a blanket every week.
We have though. We did that one.
Yeah, super fun. But kind of if you can think back to when you were first getting into content creation and setting up the tea room, why specifically a tea room? Why specifically the cozy niche? Take us back to the early days.
Oh man. Okay, so I started content, this specific content, I guess in 2021, and I came onto the scene wanting to be a part of Book Talk. That was my original heart. Was like, I want to carve a space for myself. I don't know what it looks like, and I don't know what to do. So I started making cocktails. My page was called Poppin' Pages, and it was
my god,
yes,
right up my alley.
Yeah, that really is.
If you scroll really far back, you'll get attention. But I was like, basically making cocktails for top 20 books. It was the Actars and a lot of different ones like that. And I was enjoying it, but it wasn't fully me. And the way my brain has always kind of worked has been there has to be some an added heart or purpose to it in order for it to be fulfilling or for me to sustain it. Because creating content is, just to sustain and to be able to consistently show up and do it. I couldn't just do that if I'm making a cocktail. I needed something more to keep me motivated and keep me moving forward. And so I was kind of searching for that and trying to figure out what that was for me. And then I saw on KU, I think it was KU, I saw this cover of a book called Legends and Lattes, and at the time it was like the OG, yes,
not intentionally placed, but it's literally like right here.
I love it. So it was like the OG, cartoon cover, and I thought that it was such a funny cover. And I was like, oh my God, how funny would it be to read this? I'm just going to read this. I think it looks ridiculous, but I have to know what this is about. And then it was instant, like kismet love. I just fell so hard for this story. And I did one video that did pretty well for me at the time. And it was me just going like, have you guys read this book? You know, this is amazing. And I want a million more books like this. Like, what is this even called? And I had seen Travis Baldree mention it was like cozier fantasy, story. And I was like, cozy fantasy, it's cozy fantasy. And so, not that I picked the term or anything, but I think that's like where he was the one who kind of originated that term for, this type of story. And then I also was a really big fan of, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Quincy's Tavern at all on TikTok. You want to talk about cozy? He was like, again, one of the just huge creators that was doing the tavern style POV content. And I watched it all the time. I loved what he was doing. It made me cry. It made me feel seen multiple times. And so I was like, oh, I want to do one just based off Legends and Lattes. And so I did one video where I like dressed in stuff I had, and just I tried to make it look as taverny as I possibly could. I got like a $6 the stone backdrop, to throw like taped to the wall behind me. And I was like, we're just gonna do it like I'm someone in Legends and Lattes. But the response that I got from that was seeing that there were so many people that loved the content and loved things like that, like I did. And also I was getting a lot of response of how safe it was making people feel just in this little smelling a cinnamon bun and offering it to people. And I was like, that's important. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And so I started making more and more just to kind of test it and see, like, is this something that people resonate with? And like, could I even do this authentically where I feel like I am being fully myself? And the more I did it, the more everyone connected and I connected with them. And I realized, okay, this is precious to me. It's become precious. So yeah, that's kind of how it grew. It started somewhere. I'm still serving drinks. They're just a little bit more cozy. I did the tea room because the tea room, I hadn't seen anyone in the tavern space do a tea room yet. And that's what I enjoy personally. So I was like, if I have to drink something on screen, I can't be drinking cocktails every time. That's not going to work. And I love tea. I love learning about tea. So that it just was a match. It fit to me. And I wanted a brighter set, which now it's very dim. But at the time,
it's gorgeous.
It's so cool. It really does make you feel like you're sitting right there across the table.
Yay.
And I'm like, I will take that. Thank you very much.
Good.
Yeah, but I definitely think we're gonna have to do, because I also like to dabble in making cocktails and stuff too.
Yeah.
Also book inspired. So I feel like we're gonna have to do a special Meg's tea room / Blanket Profiles collaboration cocktail for this episode now.
That would be so fun. Anytime. Oh my gosh, there's so many tea cocktails that you can do.
Yeah,
that I need to
that would be
sharing
really
too.
fun.
Yeah.
Was there a flavor that you found while doing that or while doing this that you hadn't like combined before that now you love?
You mean in a cocktail sense or teas or just in
Either
general?
or.
I think the biggest one was the Earl Grey mixed with hot chocolate. That one really changed my life. When I found that combo, I was like, I will never drink hot chocolate the same. Like, these are meant to be together. Yeah, that was a wild one. That was so
I
good.
love it. Yeah, that one is really good. I had Earl Grey and matcha at a new coffee shop here, and I was like, this is amazing. Like, I wasn't expecting it. It kind of tastes like the like milk that you get at the end of like Fruit Loops or something. And I'm like, this is the best thing. It's so good. Oh
my goodness. Okay, I have matcha at home. I need to make that because that sounds
yeah.
I guess it's infused into the milk. I guess the Earl Grey is.
That's what they do. Yeah. Okay. They're a super new coffee shop. They're like 4 or 5 days old, but like I'm like, I'm coming here every day.
Yeah, well, way to come out with a banger. That's awesome. Good for
I know.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
When thinking of like stories and places and things like that that you want to jump into, what are things that really grab you that make you want to dive deeper in?
Stories and places. Can you rephrase it? Stories and
places. Like, so I love Lord of the Rings. I've seen that you love Lord of the Rings, and I feel like that's one of those stories that really grabs you and just like sucks you into that world. And I feel like for me, a lot of it has to do with like the hobbits, that coziness, like the connection with things. I was wondering, is there something specifically? Is it kind of change book to book depending on what it is? Is it like story focus maybe is what drags you in?
I think for me, and tell me if I'm answering this wrong, by the way.
Yeah, you're good.
I think for me, what draws me in the most is the found family element. If that is in a story, and I think cozy fantasy specifically, I rarely have read one where that is not an element of it. They really, really capture the essence and the heart behind found family. And I think that's what keeps me reaching for them, is because I love that trope so much in
Yeah.
any story and movies I watch too. And that's what kind of connects with me. And it's why I love making content, because that's where I've discovered my found family.
Yeah.
So I think, I guess it's not necessarily a story, but it is a trope that for me, I definitely connect to, especially
Yeah.
cozies. Yeah.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about
Perfect
you?
answer.
Oh, thanks.
Well, speaking of found family and cozy fantasy, so kind of the gist of the podcast is pretty much almost every episode we have a general theme and then we report on case files. And I have done quite a few books that I've had recommended by you, Legends and Lattes, the Song for a Wild Build. I didn't do a case file, but I've talked about Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. So
It's my fave.
we didn't ask for book recs, but if there's one that you've been recommending lately, it doesn't have to be cozy fantasy, but like off the top of your head, what's one that you would recommend?
Okay,
Yeah.
so I would recommend one of my favorite cozies from the last year, which I would say it's a little bit more cozy adjacent because it does have some deeper, darker themes of grief in it. Which for some people that can be very activating, but for some it can be very healing. And in this case, this story really covers the healing part of it, and that's House of Frank by Kay Sinclair, and it's one of the bindery books, which is really great. It's from Jason Easy Cat's imprint.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
That's
Oh
cool.
my goodness. That book is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It follows a woman who is grieving the loss of a family member, and she comes to this special house, magical house that has all kinds of mythological, fairy kind of fun creatures. And in this house, that's what they do is they have an arboretum where they help people plant trees and plants in honor of their loved one. And it's basically them taking her in and kind of helping her walk through that process of grief. And it's very tender. I cried multiple times. But it's just soft and lovely, and also kind of wrecks you in the best way.
Yeah,
But yeah, trigger warnings for grief for sure.
I appreciate the trigger warnings. I love those kinds of books about grief and emotional. One of my favorites is The Guncle. I don't know if you've read that by Stephen
I read that
Rowley.
one.
Oh my gosh. So highly recommend. It's actually a sequel that just came out last year. But so it's this kind of washed up actor who lives in Palm Springs, and his best friend passes away. And so she is married to his brother, and he takes in the two kids for the summer and like teaches them. And I don't think I've read an author that balances humor and grief like Stephen Rowley does. Like he just does it so incredibly. So highly recommend if that's the kind of book you like.
Yeah, no, I love that. I like cozy adjacent has become my new kick, I think, a little bit. I really, really love books that do that can balance both the lovely cozy elements with real life, trauma and things that we walk to, and show that there is light and there is hope at the end of the tunnel. I think T. Kingfisher is a brilliant author for this. Nettle and Bone is one of my top 5 favorite books of all time, and the way that she handles some very heavy themes of abuse and different things in there, but also the found family element and the weird, quirky, strange characters, like a dog made out of bones. You know what I mean? It's in a magical quest in a sense. It's very off kilter in its storytelling, but then you leave going, I feel so warm and so connected, and so that is it just breaks you in the sweetest way. That's become kind of my favorite version of cozy fantasy, I think.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
love that. I've never thought about this. We Larissa and I met through the love of Gilmore Girls, and I feel like Gilmore Girls kind of is so good. We love it so much. But I feel like that's also like a bunch of quirky characters, but also like real life things that they're going through, more like the mother-daughter type connections. And I've never made that connection till like this moment in time, which seems crazy to say, but 25 years later and
Oh, you're
counting,
right.
we're still going.
It is. It's comfort because they
Yeah.
accomplish what they need to accomplish usually within one or two episodes, depending
Right.
on
Yeah.
obviously Rory leaving in the last.
Oh, we have thoughts. We have thoughts.
We can go down that road if we want to.
Oh,
When I close down the laptop and start with season 1 again.
Yeah,
Oh,
legit though.
yeah, but man, because again, that's the found family. They have so many
Yeah.
comfort characters in there
Yeah,
that you can lean into and are consistent, and okay, we're gonna be okay because she has such a support system, which we all want,
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, now that we know that you're a Gilmore Girls fan,
like that.
side question that we didn't prepare. If you,
No.
again, not to put you on the spot, I'm not going to ask you the
Please.
team because I hate that question. But
We do.
if you had to pick a favorite character from Gilmore
Okay, good. That's what I was
Girls,
going to ask.
I mean, the one that I think, that's hard.
You could do two. You could do a main and a
I
side
can do
if
two.
that's helpful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
There's loopholes. That's our blanket for it,
Yeah.
Listen, I understand Lorelai, and there are so many things that we could complain about and say this is probably irresponsible, or this was not great mother, or there's so many things about her we could critique. But when it comes to line delivery, if I am like, the thing that makes me giggle the hardest are her lines. Like, she makes me laugh so hard, and I think brilliant acting, brilliant lighting up a screen, so many moments like that. And I just love Lorelai, and I really, really enjoy Miss Patty.
Really. Oh, I thought it was gonna be Miss Patty or Babette. That's what I was gonna say. Those are
either
ours,
one
so.
of them. That duo, if they are together, I think that's the best chemistry in the whole thing. Like, if you're asking me for a team, it would be Babette and Miss Patty.
That's what I'm gonna start saying.
We talked about one time of we want them to host a podcast. Like,
yes,
that would be the greatest.
I'd be here.
I would die.
Every episode I'd be in.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned bindery, so we do have some questions for you. I guess first, if our cozy detectives aren't familiar, if you want to kind of give like an overview pitch of what bindery is, but what has been kind of the most surprising thing that you've learned throughout this process?
So bindery, for those who aren't familiar with it, is basically a new way to publish books. It's so cool. Been really phenomenal to watch. Yeah. So bindery itself is a publishing imprint, and they partner with creators to create their own kind of bookish Patreon. And so it starts there, and then they invite specific creators to also create their own imprint. So for example, I have an imprint called Cozy Quill, in that we publish cozy fantasy stories. So I have agents that go through bindery and that send in their authors to me and their manuscripts, and then I'm reading them throughout the year and choosing stories to publish under my imprint. So it's been incredible. It's a really beautiful thing because we get to a lot of the times, like for me specifically, we have like pitch fests for authors that are more underrepresented or don't have representation with agents, and it's doing this beautiful thing where they're being very strategic about the creators that they have picked to be publishers, and the point is to make it kind of shake up the publishing industry with calls for diversity and having more really interesting, rich, juicy, like incredible reads that may not have gotten a chance in traditional publishing, or they passed because they didn't want to take the risk. But because we're creators and we have platforms like we do, we get to take in the marketing and take on that for the author. And so it's this really lovely partnership where the author gets to show up and be celebrated, and we get to work with them to like help the market part of the book, it's been really, really rewarding and lovely. I think the most surprising part of it, my goodness, I have a whole new respect for authors. I always had a great amount of respect for the amount of work that they put into their manuscripts and how much heart goes into it. But the editing process, I had never seen the behind the scenes of that. And that is dark and dirty. Like it is like the ego, you just have to like take the ego out and like throw it over here for a while in order to go through that. And to watch my first author, Destin Munden, is incredible. And to watch his manuscript, Recipes for an Unexpected Afterlife, where we started with it, and then watching him so humbly and eagerly work with the editors on our team and transform this book into something even more special than it was, which is amazing that he even was able to do that, is like, it's so much work and so much humility and so much ego death. So I respect authors so much for the hustle, honestly, and what they have to do in order to get a book out, and the heart. It takes so much work and so much heart, and I think that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's wild. Especially because you're like, here's this like speaking of heart, like here's this little piece of my heart, and then you're like, and now let's refine it over and over and over and over, and it's like I can't even
and so
imagine.
many voices on it too. And you have to like basically go, and then having to sit through the reviews part of it, where it's like out in the world and people are giving their opinions. I'm like, the thick skin of it all is
I could never do it.
Yeah, that seems terrifying. I know it's scary enough with this where we're like, here's this like piece of my childhood. Would you like to hear about it? It's like kind of scary even doing that. So I can't imagine a book. Is there something coming up in the future that you're really excited about with Bindery? Like, is there an event or is there like
so we next week actually we have the June book release launch. So there's a few books coming out. We have two kind of release seasons for Bindery. It's the spring, which usually come out in the June, and then we have the fall releases, which comes out in October. I will always have a fall release because to me cozies are fall. So that's like that's when we thrive. And so the June one, that launch party in New York City is coming next week. So we all get to kind of all the Bindery peeps come and celebrate the authors in a really cool way. And then mine is in October, which I'm like very nervous, but very excited about that release. So that book, our Recipes for an Unexpected Afterlife, will release in October. So we're stoked about that. And then we're potentially acquiring our 2026 book. We're still working on contracts for that, but I may have more. So that's very exciting too.
So fun. I can't wait.
Yeah, I know. I feel like there's so much. So getting into the next segment, we are going to start the summer movie watch list, which we've divided into 3 categories. We can kind of just like round robin it too. Larissa, do you want to get us started with your first nostalgic movie that you're excited about?
So we all have some of our favorite summer movie recs. So our first round, we're talking about some nostalgic faves. So these are ones we've probably watched a zillion times over. We've can memorize it, say the whole dialogue. So Meg, we'll let you go first if you want to tell us your first. Not to put you on the spot again.
That's why I'm here. I came prepared for this one, I promise. Yay. So, okay, my favorite nostalgic, or one of my favorites, I have 2 that I want to list off, but one of my favorites is Ella Enchanted. I think this movie
we just did a case file on that. Yeah, we love it. It's so good.
It's so good.
It's cozy fantasy too.
Yeah.
I know. That's all exactly of mine are kind of pretty cozy adjacent. So I think, if you haven't seen it, it's basically this whimsical, magical Cinderella-like movie about this woman named Ella who is cursed with this gift of obedience. So she's got to do whatever she's told. And her stepfamily takes advantage of this so often. And they take advantage of it so far that Ella has to set off on this quest to break that curse. And in the process discovers her courage and love and her own voice. She sings a lot. It's Anne Hathaway singing beautifully. It's Hugh Dancy as the prince. Like Carrie Ells, Vivica Fox. Like so many phenomenal actors in that story. Also, it's very stacked.
Yeah, super whimsical. Love it.
It has the best soundtrack. It is the best soundtrack ever. So yes, if you want to just be like happy and light and free and feeling very summery and joyful, I highly suggest Ella Enchanted.
Yeah. Meg, have you read the Ella Enchanted book as well?
I haven't. We talked about doing it for our book club, though.
Oh, fun! Yeah, I read it growing up, and I've been like rereading some childhood faves this year, and this is rare. I know this is like a hot take. I think the movie is better than the book.
Really?
Yeah. I think they made a lot of smart choices, and like there's more messaging, I think, in the movie that the book lacks. And so this is one of the few times where I will say the movie is better than the book.
Do you think it's because the movie was for the adults, or like, the teenager adult kids that read that story? Like they kind of not grew it up, but
Yeah, I think so. And
one book.
I think there are, I don't know if it's a full series. I think there are after at least the sequel, so maybe there's more storytelling. But yeah, I think they did age it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think there's a better plot in the movie, and so it's rare, but I do like the
Yeah, it's only like
I do
twice
it.
that Larissa said that on the podcast. So I remember when you said that in the episode, I was like, what?
What was the other one? What was the other one?
I don't even remember. Have I said
It was
it
my
before?
It was my case file. What was my case file? This is where it's
I
like my
don't remember.
brain like blacks out after
Like, what have we even
case
talked
file.
about? Yeah. I know now. I'm like, what other?
My brain still keeps going back to the Mummy because that was our most
Mummy.
because I find the Mummy cozy. So
Yeah.
like,
You find it because of the
I love
nostalgia of it?
yeah, I think
Is
so.
that why?
The
Okay, that's so
nostalgia.
interesting.
I was the Egypt girl as a
Oh,
kid. Like
yeah.
you're like the Egypt, you're the Greek, or I was the
Titanic.
Egypt girl.
Mhm,
Yeah.
So
We for our 1 year, we each made the other watch a case file
Yeah.
if the other had it. So she made me watch the Mummy. And I was trying to watch it before bed.
I saw
and I'm
nothing
like,
wrong with it. I still see nothing wrong with it.
jump scares. I can't do
Yeah.
this.
It's a spooky
And she got to
movie.
watch the 2019 Little Women. That's way cozier.
Very, very cozy.
Although
that's
more emotional.
Very emotional. But I would definitely put that in like comfort. The 1994 one for me, for a comfort Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every
Okay.
year. So good.
Okay. Because that's not on my list for summer, but that's like one of mine that I want to watch in winter because I've only seen the 2019 one. So I know.
Controversial, I know, but I prefer the 94 one. I do.
I was going to ask. I know. I feel
That's what
like
I
that's
figured.
actually the more popular take that I've seen.
Yeah,
I feel like
really?
less people like, I like the changes. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I think the time jumps
each
for me.
their own.
I like the just like linear
Yeah.
storytelling. Yeah.
I love the
Oh, I
parallels
can see
that Greta does
Yeah.
with like
It is
the
nice.
scene in particular.
Mhm,
But it is.
mhm.
I actually know
If
what
you've
that is
never seen
now.
it, it's kind of confusing. You do.
I
Yay.
finally be like, oh, I get that. Wait,
Yeah.
Larissa, what's your nostalgic movie? What's your first one?
Yeah.
I have She's the Man, which is like I think technically
So good.
I think it's
So good.
technically fall.
Got a
'cause it's,
lifetime
like,
knowledge.
I can quote like that
Me
entire
too.
movie. It just feels very summery to me.
Yeah.
So if anyone's not seen it, it is technically a 12th Night retelling with Amanda Bynes.
Yeah.
She pretends to be her twin brother Sebastian at this boarding school so she can join the boys soccer team, because the girls soccer team at her school
Rude.
is like, oh well, we're getting cut, and she's like, I'm just as good if not better than the boys. It also
And
has Channing Tatum as the love interest. It's so quotable. It's
a little bit of
iconic.
Channing Tatum.
Iconic.
Iconic.
Very.
Yeah.
Got a lifetime knowledge.
Joy, what's yours?
So good. It's so good.
Mine, I swing from like more emotional ish version to like
Tell me.
Xenon.
Oh,
so good.
This is not the emotional one, obviously. This is just the vibes one.
love Xenon.
So, Xenon Girl 21st Century, if you haven't seen it, it's a Disney Channel original movie. She is from the 21st century and she lives at the space station, but she's got to figure out stuff. And so she's got to come to Earth. And Protozoa, speaking of iconic songs, that one and the Freaky Friday song, those I would fight anybody on, are two also great songs from movies. So,
yeah, the band
was
You're blowing my mind because it's like not set in summertime, but that is what I was watching with my cereal during summer break, like at 4 p.m. Just, you know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. What a good one.
Yeah. Joy, was that one on your decom list? We did a like decom ranking episode.
I would think so. Yeah. I would guess that would be on there. That, or it would have been an honorable mention. I feel like another one I had on there was Alley Cat Strike, but that one was so long ago for me that I feel like that was like a school movie, and I was like, I couldn't put it on the summer list. That didn't feel like the right vibes. Oh, Brink was on there for me too. That was a good one.
So good.
All right. Meg, what's your next?
Love Brink. My other nostalgic one would be my neighbor Totoro. I love.
Yeah, that was my case file once. That's so
Yes.
cute.
Okay. Yeah.
It's so cute.
It's so
good.
just springy summer, like it's aesthetic, and I just want to live in wherever they. It's so beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
the
sure.
the coolest thing about that, and I will just tell everybody this because this is the wildest thing. Speaking of storytelling, is he does it backwards. So it's like photos, and then he like comes up with the story that like makes sense. It's like the coolest I've ever seen somebody come up with like storytelling. When we were doing all the research for that case file, it was so fun.
Ooh, okay. I need to go back and listen to that one. That sounds
It's
fun.
really cool. It's really cool. Larissa, what's your next one?
I have Uptown Girls with Brittany Murphy. Also not
Yes!
That was gonna be my like. Should I watch this?
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the
Costumes are
teacups.
so good.
Yeah. Okay, no, when you say the thing though, don't say any spoilers because that was
I
on my
won't.
like, should I watch this honorable mentions question because I've never seen it.
Okay,
Yes.
I won't. Yes, 100%. I won't spoil
You
anything.
can say the plot though. The plot's fine,
Yes.
but just not like any crazy
Yeah.
spoilers.
It stars Brittany Murphy, R.I.P. I miss her so much. She has famous parents, and this is like in the trailer, but they've passed
Yeah.
away. And her inheritance from them is stolen, so she has to get a job, first job ever, and so she is a nanny to a young Dakota Johnson. Not
Fanning.
Dakota Fanning. I
Yeah.
always do.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You, Joy
It's
to
my
the
Lilies.
is me to the Dakotas.
Yeah, Lily Collins and Lily James. I'm like, that's the same person. I can't figure out who's who. So
I feel you there.
Yeah, Dakota Fanning, who's this really uptight kid, and they just learn a lot from
cute.
each other.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very sweet movie.
It's very Grumpy Sunshine, actually, if you
Yes.
think about it.
Yes,
Oh, I could see it. I
Yeah.
could see that. My next one, and this is where I'm like, I feel like this also is something where maybe it's more wintry because of her scarf, but Penelope, 2006.
Oh, yeah, with the
I feel like
football.
one.
Yes, James
I
McAvoy. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like before he was X-Men man.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, it is the story of a girl who is cursed and then finding her way out of that and what that means. I feel like is the like
That's good.
30,000 foot view of that.
Yeah.
But it's really fun. It's very whimsical as well.
I would say that and Ella Enchanted have the same like tone.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's fun, and I just like her room is one of those where it's like the Hey Arnold room where I'm like, give me that room, I want it.
Oh my gosh, Hey Arnold, yes.
I loved it. So
Hey Arnold.
I know, so good. Okay, so our next one is current.
Mm-hmm.
So Meg, what is something that you're currently watching / excited to watch in summer?
This is one that is my favorite to watch on trains, planes, any automobile. Like I love this is my like one of my travel comfort movies because it is very comforting to me, and that is Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. Have you seen this?
No.
I haven't
Okay.
seen it, but it's on my list.
I'm telling you,
tell more.
put it at the top. This is like the most comfort, cozy film of all time. Okay, so it basically follows this woman named Ada Harris, who is a widow, and she is this cleaning lady in London. That's what she does for work. It's set in this kind of post-war optimism season. It's like 1940s, 50s. And she becomes enamored with this very specific couture Dior dress as she's cleaning a woman's house. She's like, that dress. And she decides and makes up in her mind, like, I want a Dior dress. I want this dress. I need a dress like this. And so she goes on this like whimsical, lovely journey to Paris, and just the way that she gets the funds to even do it, and just she has this goal and she works so hard, and like everything's against her, but she still finds her way there. And her goal is to purchase one for herself. That is like all she wants, is to purchase a Dior, like a beautiful gown. And it's interesting because it is set against that post-war optimism. So Paris is depicted in varying ways, but mainly like full bloom. So it's very spring, early summer in tone. The costumes are incredible. There's so much like, if you like costume history, there's so many classic pieces in there that you're like, oh. And it's just very celebratory and tender as a character study. Her character is just you're rooting for it the whole time. You just want her to get this dress, and she goes through so much to get it, and it's just something simple. It's just for the girls, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And what that dress represents to her is really tender and lovely.
That's
I
so
highly
special.
suggest it. It's
really quickly, I'm going to ask you another question. I just thought of, you mentioned costuming. Something that I love that you've been doing recently is the whimsicalness in your wardrobe. So tell us a little bit more of like how that came to be and what our cozy detectives maybe can do to add more whimsy to their wardrobe, because I'm really obsessed with this.
Oh, that makes me so happy. So I realized I was dressing whimsically for work. So for content creation all the time. And I was finding myself like, instead of taking the costume right off, I would be like, okay, I'm just gonna eat lunch in it. Okay, I'm just gonna like continue my meetings in the corset. And it was one of those things where my closet is filled with gray and black. And so like my other version, like the Megan version of myself, is a little bit more boring in the wardrobe, I would say, or just not boring, just safe. It's my comfort colors are very dark and dull, which is sometimes can be really cool and badass, but not like I wasn't being
have options,
right? I wasn't fully expressing myself, basically. Like I wasn't finding or feeling joy in the way I was dressing, and I've realized more and more how much that does impact my creativity and how I feel, is just how I show up in the day, is how I dress. And so I decided to start adding little fantasy elements. So like this, for example, I podcasters can't hear it, but or see it. But this is like I'm wearing a gray t-shirt, which is what I would lean into, but it also has like these night gloves on it, like a night. It's from While Odin Sleeps. That is a great, cool company. So it's like I'm trying to kind of infuse the joy that I feel when I'm making content into my everyday wardrobe. And a great way to do that is literally like if you go to Renfest or anything like that and you have all these accessories just floating around, start to kind of find creative ways to put them in. I think inviting more color always makes me feel more whimsical, which is very scary because sometimes I'm like, I don't know. But that has helped a lot. And really just going into what delighted you as a child. So if it was like beautiful little princess dresses, like throw a little some type of poofy something, you know what I mean? Or if it was overalls, if you loved like get some overalls. You know? Yeah.
I almost wear them today, but I've been wearing them like every episode, and I'm like, I can't always.
But they make you so happy, and
I
like
love them,
and that's very whimsical. And overall, it's very cute and fun. So that's helped me a lot. I think the world is burning, and so anywhere we can find little places to spark joy for ourselves, I think it's important. And sometimes joy does take a little bit of effort and work, to find. And so it's helped me a lot. I love it. Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, thank you for telling me that. I was obsessed with the little cottage house purse situation you had. Oh my gosh. So
well, that was a set piece. I bought that literally because I was like, I want a fairy to live in my tea room. And so I bought the wicker thing at Michael's because I was like, oh, that's cool. When I was there, and I was like, that's where the fairy lives in my brain. You know what I mean? For my set. But then I realized it has a handle. Like this can totally be a bag. Perfect. That's so cool. Yeah. So again, it's even things around your house. You know what I mean? Handkerchiefs that, and vintage pieces and thrift stores are packed with whimsy. My gosh.
Yes. That's like 90% of my wardrobe, and like everything, including what will be part of my 2% cozy thrift stores. It's kind of very
spoiler. I love
it. Spoiler. Love that.
Larissa,
so much.
what's your next one?
So mine is one that probably everyone has seen. So it's not necessarily a rec, but if you haven't yet, if you've been living under a rock, you have to watch the Barbie movie. See, I also struggled with the Kurtz because I just don't watch a lot of new movies. I am very much in nostalgia all the time, but I really appreciate the community that we all formed during Barbie. Like it felt very nostalgic of the big summer blockbuster, and that we all dressed up, and it felt like a safe space to go see the movies. Like since the pandemic, I've been to the movie theater 3 times. One was to see Kiki's Delivery Service, which is my Studio Ghibli case file. I saw that in theaters. They did a pro shot of Waitress the musical, and then I was like, okay, I can't miss out on seeing Barbie in theaters. So if you haven't seen it, this is your sign to finally see it.
And your season. It's like the perfect season.
Yeah. It is a summer movie. Like Barbie couldn't be more celebratory for the summer. Yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely. All right, Joy.
Mine, this is the only one that I'm aware of that I wrote on this list that's been a case file because it's been in my head. It's a more recent case file. But Mamma Mia, the second movie, hot take, that one's my favorite. So I was like, Mamma Mia, here we go again, which is like interesting too because I was a ABBA fan when I was a kid. And so like I found Mamma Mia through the love of them versus like vice versa. So is it because Saturday fun days with my friend, her dad was like a huge fan, so that was always on in the car. We're just like in the back like bumping around and like listening to it. So
I feel like so good. There would have been so many comments if we hadn't at least mentioned Mamma Mia on a summer list for movies. Right. So I'm glad you did bring it up.
Yeah. I got it. That's like my most that's like one of my more recent ones. From there I like 2016 is my next one. So but that's as close as we get. Next, what's your second one?
The Wild Robot. Oh my gosh!
Oh, you guys have not
read the book.
What is?
It is the most beautiful movie. Oh, it's like water. The animation is stuff you've never seen on a screen. Like the way that they paint and the watercolors and just how vibrant it is and just how lovely and tender the story is. As a full-grown adult, that is one. It made me cry. It's a very sweet story about a robot that lands on an island for various reasons, and it stumbles while it's in the woods. It stumbles upon a newly hatched geeseling, and that little geeseling basically imprints on this robot, and so it has to help raise this goose. It's couldn't recommend it more. Goose, or is it a duck? I can't remember now. I'm sorry, but I think maybe is it a duck?
Oh,
maybe it is a duck.
You are good. The geese and all the things.
Don't yell at me for that.
You're fine. The Cozy Detectives are good. They got it.
But it's a beautiful and very funny and very, very, very well done movie. Very well done movie. I loved it.
Cool. Okay, I'll that's added to my list now. I haven't seen that.
I know it's on mine, so I'm very excited. But
yeah, Marissa, you're up.
Oh yes. So mine is. It came out last summer. It is another. This shouldn't surprise anyone. It is another book adaptation. Red, White, and Royal Blue. The book is written by Casey McQuiston. So the first son of the U.S. falls in love with the Prince of England. I do like the book more. The movie's really sweet. I feel like it's a fairly good adaptation. It is a fun kind of cute summer rom-com vibes.
Yeah,
so
it is.
That is my rec.
I like the book more on that one too.
Yeah.
Mine is one of. I feel like Larissa, did you have a case file on this? Because I'm like, I don't remember. You did. You had to, right? La La Land.
La La Land.
Okay. I was like, that's my recent. So I just feel like it's so good.
Always.
It's very whimsical. It's so good. We both have the records for it. It's just awesome. Great movie. Gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, future and or like maybe something you haven't seen is on your TBR. I mean, all these are TBR, but like, mine are all ones I have not seen, but possible.
Yes,
possible seen.
Possible. Okay, I have only one for this, but I can add more. So mine is The Roses. Have you guys seen previews for this yet?
No.
Okay, so it is this dark I love a dark comedy. I like a little bit of the dark with the fun, but it's a dark comedy. It's a reimagining of the War of the Roses film from like the 1980s. But it stars Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman as the couple.
Oh my gosh, perfect.
They're like a seemingly perfect couple living in the California. Their life is idyllic, but it starts to unravel when Olivia Colman's character, her career as a chef takes off, and Benedict Cumberbatch's his career is not taking off, and so it leads to this kind of battle of wills that gets very feral and out of control and crazy, and it looks like it's gonna be such a fun romp. I just think it looks so fun. Yeah, I'm really excited about that one. Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I've seen I feel like I scrolled and like something popped up and I was like, okay, cool.
It comes out this summer, so it's going to be one of
Cool.
those summer like fun rom-coms kind of to go to.
So cool.
Ooh,
Rom-com,
love it,
maybe
love it.
dark comedy.
Well, all of my future are kind of old movies because
Me too.
I
Love
have
it.
a hard time with
Yeah.
new stuff. I don't know, books, I'll do a new book all the time, but movies and TV show, I'm like, I'm just gonna rewatch the same things all the time.
Yes.
But one of mine, I feel like I've seen a couple of scenes, but I've never watched it all the way through, is Erin Brockovich.
Oh yeah, it's a great summer
Yeah.
movie. She's like in a tank top
Yeah.
the whole time.
Oh, that is a good
Yeah.
one.
So
Yeah.
it's Julia Roberts. I don't feel like I should have to explain it. I feel like most people have probably seen it. I'm
Yeah.
the last person on earth, but it is on my list for this summer.
Great one.
That's cool. And mine's from the 90s, so 1995. And this
Ooh.
is one that's been recommended to me so many times, but I don't know how. I just feel like maybe I couldn't find it on streaming or something, or maybe Joy just didn't type correctly. But Now and Then.
Oh
So-
my gosh, classic.
I know, I've never seen
You
it.
haven't seen it?
I know. It's on the list. It's
This
on the
is gonna
list.
wreck me. Oh, it's gonna wreck me. Okay, out of all the movies
But
that
it's
we
great,
have
right?
listed, I need you to go watch it like after we are done.
Okay,
Or
okay.
just like keep me on and we'll watch it together.
Movie
We're gonna
night.
have a whole discourse.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh, what a
So
classic. Such a
Okay,
good movie.
good. Because I've heard
Yeah.
great things about it, but
Oh,
there's been like times where like maybe because it doesn't get like really does it get sad or not?
It does.
Like
a little
crazy
bit, yeah.
sad or like am I gonna
No.
cry?
Maybe a little bit. It may be a little bit.
Okay.
It's very it'll be interesting to see how it feels to watch it for the first time at this age, because it is
Yeah.
a big part of the love for it is that we were all watching it at the ages the girls were, when they were acting it. So, but it does like hit very hard with it's in the My Girl vein, of time period and feeling.
Okay.
I would say it's like that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
very good. I think
Larissa,
you're
do
gonna
you
love
have another one for this one? I have one more.
Yeah, I have one more. So part of why I haven't seen a lot of movies is specifically the newer Disney movies. There was like a stretch of time where Disney Plus would not work for me, like years. Like I could not get Disney Plus to work at all because we had an Amazon Fire Stick and it was like, it's too big for us. So we finally got a Roku. So we've been slowly working through it.
There
I've
we
not
go.
seen Luca yet. And I really want to.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
You're gonna like it.
So
You're gonna like
yeah.
it.
I love that movie.
I'm very
I
excited.
love
But
it.
I did watch, this is going to be on one of my currents. I did watch Inside Out 2, like a
That made me cry.
That did me
oh
too.
yeah, hard
That
cry.
made
And
me
then at first, because it came out of nowhere, I was like, oh, this one isn't so bad.
Yeah,
This one was way sadder. And then we're in the
Yeah.
middle of the anxiety attack, and I'm like,
Yeah, I was just like, too real.
Yeah,
Too real.
no.
Oh, cute. I also have never seen, I think this is another cult classic. I don't know how. I've never seen Troop Beverly Hills.
Oh my gosh.
Love 80s and 90s. I just, maybe
You're
it's too-
killing me.
I know.
You're killing me.
I know. Those are the two that I'm like,
Okay.
But you can only watch them. I feel like first time has to be summer. And so I save
Yes.
things.
Oh yes. That
So.
is such a good movie. It's so good. It's so fun. Oh, it's so fun. And the music, there's one scene in
Oh.
particular. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
Okay, cool. I'm really excited because that's so funny, Larissa. You had that too. Because I'm like, my to be watched movies are a lot of like
Past.
yeah, like
Yeah.
one of my potentials for the nostalgic category was Roman Holiday because I love that movie.
Oh yeah. I love
But that's
Gregory
just
so
like,
much.
oh, love Gregory Peck.
Ugh.
So yeah, that's so funny.
I love that.
Yeah,
I have one more, I think, that I can
Absolutely.
add in.
please,
That
please.
I'm excited for, that's coming out this summer. Have you guys seen the previews for The Materialists with Dakota Johnson and Pedro Pascal, and then Chris?
Oh yeah.
Yes. So they're painting it as this film where she is in love and in a relationship with Pedro Pascal, who's like this billionaire, and then like
Her
what's his
old
name?
flame.
Chris
Evans.
Evans, thank you. It's one of the Chris's. Chris
Yeah.
Evans comes in as like her old boyfriend flame or whatever, but he's looking very poor and very whatever. And it's so funny in the comments right now on all the trailers. They're like, dear God, please let her choose the billionaire just once. We want them to choose it. Like, we just want our girl.
Meanwhile, I'm like, second chance romance? Yes.
No, everyone's like, please, like, just it's Pedro Pascal. Like, how are you gonna have us believing that Chris, so you're gonna think we're gonna root for him over him? You know, so it is very interesting to see. I'm like, are they gonna play with the trope of that, or the expectations of the rom-com, or like what we think that it'll be really interesting to see what they do with that, and will she end up with the billionaire in the end? But it is funny. The commentary on that has been very hilarious to watch. Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
I feel like Pedro at was Canes, where he had like the sleeves, and that was also, all of those comments were hilarious. Everybody was like, "We love him, we keep him."
Yep.
So good.
So
Aww.
good. Yeah.
What a good summer list. I feel so good about that one. I feel solid.
I do too. Feel like we've got a lot to do.
I do have to add one in, because I try not to do ones that I've done case files on, but I cannot not mention this movie on a summer movie list, and that is The Parent Trap. It is like my top movie of all time.
Yeah.
So good.
You're right.
So we had an episode where we went through past case files, and Joy put me through the ringer, because we did like a bracket style.
It was your idea. You said we'll do a bracket list. It'll be fun.
Cozy vibes. And it
got
was
not so
like,
cozy. It was stressful.
I thought I was like, it felt like I was picking my children.
Oh no!
And so like, right out of the gate too, it was really hard.
I was like, this is similar feels, so I'm gonna do Princess Diaries versus The Parent Trap, and Larissa was like, why you do this to me? And I'm like,
I literally had a connection on the pod. It was so bad.
I wouldn't do it. I'd be like, I'm out. Thank you so much for having me on. I refuse.
And then like, because I'm so competitive, I felt like I was competing with myself. I re-listened to it and I'm like, okay, but I think you're answering this wrong. But then I was like, no, but your logic is sound. I've literally been thinking about that bracket like a month later, and I can't. I'm like, did I answer that incorrect?
You need to do another episode like that, where you are able to kind of reclaim some of the things you lost in that.
I know, because I was acting like, if I don't pick this one, it's not going to be in my life.
Yeah, Larissa's like, I can never watch it again. I can never read any of Abby's books ever again. And I'm like, girl, they're still there, I promise.
Lower the stakes. Lower. Yeah, I don't blame you. That would stress me out. That would ruin me.
But Parent Trap ended up winning, so you know, that's how I feel about it.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Meant to be.
I think I would pick that too.
Yeah. So our next segment is one that we do towards the end normally, which is our 2% cozier. So something that you've done during the week. It can be, we've done ones that are like more like 10% when it's like more aggressive, but it can be anything from like, I remember, Larissa, one of your favorite ones. Do you want to share that one? Because that one I feel like is such a good 2%.
Yeah, the theory is that it's something intentional that you do to just bring a little bit of extra coziness. To be honest, when we're recording, sometimes we're like, what did I do this week that was cozy that I could talk about that I haven't yet? But one that I was like very intentional with. So last fall when I got my flu shot, I went to Trader Joe's and got this like noodle bowl to have after, because I just wanted like a little nice comforting meal after my flu shot. So that was a very like intentional for future me coziness. So
love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So do you have a 2% cozier to share with us today, Meg?
I do. I think for me, this is such a silly one, but it's also
the sillier the better.
Yeah, we love it.
It feels silly, but when I'm traveling, I've been traveling a lot this month, and I will be continuing to travel into the month, and then we're going away for a month in July. So we travel a lot, me and my husband, and I will always now I've learned pack a robe. I will pack a robe. And for some reason,
such a good one.
Because when you're getting ready, you don't have to throw on like a bunch of stuff, and a lot of hotel robes are like, I don't know about that. But having just a thin, good robe has made traveling 2% better to like, I don't know. I just love it. I love it. I always have a robe that is like,
that's a really good tip.
That's a really good tip. Yeah. Also, having worked in hospitality for 8 years, I would probably agree with that. I would bring my own robe as well.
Yeah, there you go.
They're all cleaned, but I just like that it's my own robe, you know?
Yeah.
And I bought a really like thin one, you know, so it doesn't take up much space. But it's like, you know, if they're coming in with housekeeping, you know, or anything like that, or they're delivering food, I can throw it on really quick, and not feeling appropriate because
That's such a good tip. Mine always for the flights, like long flights, is like hard sole slippers so you can like not be in your
Don't go
socks
barefoot.
and be comfy. So I'm
And
gonna add ropes
pants
to
that
mine
don't
now.
drag the floor. Never wear pants that drag the floor. Always like leggings or a jogger or something because bathroom floors on planes are disgusting.
Very scary.
Very
Very scary.
Joy, what's your 2%?
Mine is I finally redecorated. I say that. Like I kind of like organized it and like made, like, okay. So when you're a kid and you have your desk and you're like, I'm going to decorate my desk and like make it so cool from back in the day when the desk like had stuff in them. Love it. I feel like I kind of treat my like, not medicine cabinet, my like cabinet closet thing in the bathroom like that. And so at a thrift store, I got this beauty. And so
that's
I love it.
pretty.
It's so pretty. I know.
So
She's
cute.
vintage, apparently. But I already have one that was bigger than this. So that's why I debated this one. And then I was like, no, it's going to be cute and cozy.
Joy.
And so I know. Now it's in, I took it out of that for this, but I just like spots for things, but like cute spots for things because I could use a box, but I'd rather use like a pretty old, I should describe this. If you're listening, Cozy Detectives, it's like this like pretty porcelain plate with flowers on it. So it's very cute. And I love it.
It's like, I call them mini nooks, like your little mini nooks.
Oh, yes.
It keeps your keys cozy. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, obsessed.
Love it. Same vibe. Marissa, what's yours?
So mine is kind of like a twofold. So the process of making it, mine was a craft project. So that was cozy, but then we get to reuse it. So I don't remember where I originally saw it on TikTok, but my sister and I decoupaged cards with old magazines this weekend.
So cool.
Oh my
God.
You decoupaged. I was wondering how you did that. I saw that photo and I was like, how did you do that?
That's awesome. I love them.
Yeah, it was super fun. So now it's like you have a fun, cozy deck of cards, but then it was also the process of making them was really fun and cozy.
It's like a memory maker. Oh, that's so crafts are so fun. Oh,
I know. So fun. Yay.
Awesome. Yay. Well, thank you, Meg, for your time. We're so grateful to have had you in the blanket fort with us. If any of the Cozy Detectives are not following, where can they follow you? What's the best way to like follow along with your journeys with all of your projects?
Yeah, so you can follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Meg's Tea Room, and then on YouTube I'm at Meg's Tea Room as well. That's newer. I'm still kind of like
I love it. I love the cookies.
Thank you.
I was talking about that when you were saying like flavors.
Yeah, I'm still kind of figuring out what I'm doing with that, but still follow along because you get to see it kind of grow into what it's going to become. I don't know what it is yet. And then Bindery is like the best place to engage. That's where my whole community, like cozy community lands. That's where I'm most engaged. Is I have a cozy Discord. We have a book club in there. We do like questions of the day. We have many events and silent book clubs and author interviews are all happening in there, which is really, really fun. So that's just binderybooks.com. And then just look for me in there and you'll find me. Yeah.
Oh, love that. Thank you so much for joining us, Meg. This was a dream come true.
And it meant the world. Thank you for thinking of me. Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for listening. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Blanket Fort Files Pod. Send us in your 2% cozier and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. And join us next week in the Blanket Fort, where we'll discuss the coziness of presidential daughter movies.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
That's our 4th of July episode.
Yeah. Like first daughter? Like oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
So excited to listen to that.